What's up, Internet? I'm counting this as the 12th. I'm sorry, I was late. I had to ask a question about something because I have to tweak some stuff and I need an extra mouse. And while I have a box of them in my closet, I didn't want to have to dig through them. But I knew I brought some to my upstairs neighbors, so I wanted to see if I could borrow that back. And I can, so hopefully I can fix my problem. Anyway, it is now officially the 13th, although I started this on the 12th. I want to say, just because the clock said 13, it did say I had a minute left. That conversation asking for a mouse happened a little longer than it should have. But we're in town. We're going to go see what's happening next door, and we're going to see if things are going on there nice and happy as we expect from Animal Crossing. Or at least I expect. I mean, that's why I enjoy this so much. It's, as I've said countless times, a nice little therapeutic calmness in my hectic day. So let's see what's going on over there. Come on, train. I need to get on the train. Alright. I'm currently trying to configure a Raspberry Pi, but my main mouse is tied to my actual PC, which I need to use at the same time. So, yeah, I need to try and get a mouse for that. I'm just hoping it actually works because I haven't used a mouse with this thing yet. I'm just trying to figure out how this thing kind of works and try and configure it properly. It's been an interesting ride thus far. Some things have worked out spectacularly, other things I cannot find ways around. But hopefully someday I will figure out all the ins and outs of this little device I've got. But I'm pretty excited just to have this thing and to be able to test it out. It's pretty fun. And I'm hoping it's going to be a useful device in recording things because it's yet another tool I can add to my HDMI thing. I know what I'm going to do this time for Blanca's face. It's not going to be accurate. It's not going to be accurate. It's not going to be accurate, but the spirit is what matters. It's a Dreamcast logo. Because she's a big supporter of the Dreamcast. A console that I really need to do more with. My Dreamcast collection is like 3 games, and 2 are like the worst games on the system. I have not had the greatest luck with Dreamcast. I've also gone through 3 of them before finding one that actually worked. Oh. Well, what can you do? That's the problem with disc-based hardware. More movable parts, which means there's a greater chance that stuff just doesn't work properly. But it's a cool system, and I hope to do more with it moving forward. What do we have here? A folk guitar. Cool. Sparkly paper. You know what I just realized? In exactly 7 days, the next Animal Crossing will be coming out. And provided that Amazon actually delivers things on time, I'll be playing it then. That'll be fun. I'm excited about that. As I will say countless times between now and then, and probably later, because I'm sure Amazon will deliver it late like they usually do with my orders, but it was ordered with Prime, and it was a birthday present for me, so I have to hold out some degree of hope that Amazon will actually deliver it on time, or else I'll be really sad. But more Animal Crossing is always fun. I can't wait. I just want to see all the new things they've done. Although, to be fair, it's Animal Crossing. I guess you can't stray too far from it. I'm sure that all the villagers are still going to be animals. I'm sure that, you know, it's going to be living in a town of some description. I'm sure there's going to be expanded elements based on what they did in the previous iteration, but it's still going to have the same roots as this game. I'm hoping they didn't reintroduce ball quests. That would be nice. Because of all the things they could reintroduce, ball quests are like the last thing any Animal Crossing game actually needs. Comic book to cookie? Alright. You know the nice thing about it not being snowy anymore and a lack of igloos is the fact that we can now actually just do all the quests. I like that, because I hated having to ultimately not be able to do quests. Oh, I'm doing animals every night. As I have since the start of last year. And in a week, assuming that Amazon actually delivers something on time, which would be a first, I will be doing the new animals. And it'll be exciting. Alright, Cookie, I need a comic book. Ah, you want to taste, okay. So what's going on with you, JavaScript Gold? Let's go talk to Ace, who hopefully, knowing his trend, will be by his house. Because I don't know where he'll be if he's not. Oh, there he is. Come on, Ace. How are your games going? Alright, I will return this. Because I always love learning about other people getting into game development and seeing where they're at, seeing what they're doing, stuff. Although that said, if you want to keep it, you know, top secret or whatever, I totally understand. But I love analyzing games and the process and stuff. Because I've got quite a bit of experience myself in that regard. Alright, Peaches. I've got your comic book right here. Deliver this to you. It is your comic book. It's the one you asked for, I hope. And if someone asks me to get a comic book from you, I'm gonna know what the problem was. Alright. Oh, we gotta see if there's treasure to be found. Resin, spring, sports season, something, something. No. Alright. Next person to go talk to is, of course, Tangy or Tangy, depending on how you're supposed to actually pronounce that name. I am a nocturnal person. I don't do mornings. Mornings are the worst. Nothing. Alright, well that's fair, I guess. I'll just start cleaning up weeds. Is there any big fish? No big fish. Is that away? Okay, next I think is Goldie, who, because we are an hour earlier now, thanks to temporal displacement, I can talk to outside. Yeah, nothing for Goldie either. Damn, if she needed a ball, I know where to find one, and it's nearby. And I hate ball quests, but when they're right there, you kind of have to go for them. Wow, everyone has already got their quests done for the day, it seems. Well, that's pretty impressive to learn almost half the game engine in one day. I have received lots of music from KK Slider. I have received a lot of music from KK Slider. Not much I care to actually listen to, but I've received lots of it. Alright, Cube, give me a job. Pokemon Pikachu? That's relevant. Okay, I'll go deliver that to Pearl, sure. You're counting on the right person, perhaps. Maybe Camofrog needs something too, since we're here. What are you up to, Camofrog? Oh, please don't tell me you need flowers. Because I need them. Yeah, you're not getting any flowers. Sorry, Camofrog. My garden needs all the flowers. I only have like 7 more days to work on my ultimate super garden. Although that said, after those 7 days, I can work on a new ultimate super garden. And assuming that the new one actually works with similar mechanics as the previous entries, they'll actually spread on their own, which means it'll grow on its own faster than just having to plant my own. That's pretty cool if you can export to all those different things at once with relative ease. That means that your game can reach a lot of people really quickly. It also means that it would be relatively easy to spread to testers. And of course, you know, getting things to testers relatively simply is a great way to get feedback on what you need to tweak and stuff really quick. So being able to spread it out really easily and simply like that is certainly a lot better than having to, like, reconfigure everything just to make sure someone can play it and give you feedback. 1,000 bells, I'll take that. Quetzal is not here. Is he in his house, or is he hiding behind it? Must be up here. Nope, there's Pierce. There's Quetzal. I was very busy. You have no videotape. I kind of wonder if the current generation that would be playing Animal Crossing even knows what a videotape is. Oh my god, so much time has passed since the original Animal Crossing. You know, it's funny. It was probably about 5 years ago now or something, but I was working with someone who was so young she didn't even understand what a CD was. And to try and explain it to her, just out of sheer facetiousness, I basically just explained it was kind of like a Laserdisc, only slightly smaller. Just because I could. Ace came by. Alright, I'll go find him then. But first, I'm taking whatever the hell this is. Fossil! And I do actually have paper, so I can get rid of these. I'm gonna go take these to Phyllis. That sounds like a good plan. Alright, let's write a letter to Museum. And also Museum. And finally, we shouldn't forget the museum. Alright, plonk that there. Plonk that there. And plonk this, surprisingly, here. We'll make a trip to Phyllis after we go talk to Ace. You know, assuming we don't have to go talk to Weber or something after that, which is in the complete opposite direction. But it's Animal Crossing. Stuff like that happens. Where's Ace? Ah, there he is. I'm picking up. Ah, well, you know, Pierce is right next to Quetzal, so that works out well. Although I think that goes back to Spike, so him being next to Quetzal actually doesn't matter that much. Alright, Pierce. I'll definitely have to look into it. I don't have a ton of experience with a bunch of different engines. I've played around with Unity a little bit, but most of my experience is like in Game Maker and even more specifically RPG Maker. I definitely prefer drag and drop interfaces and stuff just because coding and programming aren't my specialty. I'm more of a proper level designer than like an actual like coder and programmer. Hey, furniture. Cool. What did we get from him? A fan palm. Those can get really, really big. Maybe. I've never actually tried to stream PC footage. That's been something I've been trying to figure out for a while now because there's a certain DOS game I really, really want to review and I need footage first. That's part of the reason why I got my Raspberry Pi. It should be able to do DOSBox, and since it runs through HDMI, I should be able to run it through my recorder. I just have to figure out how that works, but I'm still running into a lot of issues with stuff on it. Okay, so let's first try and make everyone happy, and then we can go talk to them proper. But certainly once I actually figure out how to properly do all this PC streaming stuff. I've got a link to Streamlabs OBS. I really do need to properly take a look at that, but at the same time I need to also set up my account properly as well, which I've been meaning to do for a while, but I've just been so behind on everything else. Hopefully tonight or tomorrow I'll get that done, but I also have to do my taxes and about a million other things, so hopefully sometime in the near future it gets done. but I will take a look at Streamlabs OBS. I actually have a tab of it open on my computer right now, but I'm also the kind of guy who has... let's see. I'm gonna count right now. "41 tabs open on Chrome." I am the kind of guy who has just an absurd number of tabs open at all times, just because there's something I don't want to forget until I look into it proper, and I just get bogged down with a billion other things at once. I know a lot of people make fun of me just because of the absurd number of tabs I keep open on my PC at once. I mean, 3 of them are open on eBay looking at products I can't afford, but I would like to actually keep tabs on, even though I know there's like a watch list thing and stuff. Then I've got like 3 open on my YouTube page for videos I need to publish before the night's over. Got like 4 dedicated to Twitch, including like account stuff so that I can authorize it properly so I can actually start making money once I finally authorize my account and stuff. I've got so much stuff on my plate right now that I can't even be bothered to do like the simplest stuff. So I've got so much more complex stuff. I haven't even started my review for the week, which I think just for the sake of saving some time, I'll probably do a Neo Geo arcade game or something like that. Actually, holy crap, I have like video for a full review right now and I didn't even realize it. And I've got audio for a different one that I couldn't do because my Switch was busted at the time. I got like 3 reviews I could do right now that I just haven't. I should do that instead of worrying about a new one. I've got ones that are half done. I'll talk to Cube. But as you can see, I'm kind of really overly stretched thin with everything I need to get done. Plus, at some point, I actually have to make channel art for my channel because I've been doing that for like a year and a half and I'm still not done. Although in my defense for that one, my artist who was helping me at the time kind of quit and made me start over. So, at the very least, you know, I have at least something of an excuse for that. Alright, let's Quetzal. And I'm only halfway done recording my N64 collection, which I gotta have done by the end of the month. Oh, I got so much stuff to do. Oh, and it's the 3rd month, which means I have to do my quarterly loot video, too. Exciting, but also stretched very thin. Okay, he lent it to Quetzal, who was around here. But I am excited. I will take a look at this and see about this new engine. You don't have it, Quetzal. You lent it to Velma. Alright, I'll go get it from Velma. I'm gonna actually run around this. Because I was busy looking at my TV, which is displaying another game I'm recording audio for review. Multitasking. It's a thing I'm somewhat good at because I have to be. Velma. I need a thing from you. You know you live right next to Peaches, like you're literally within earshot of her. You could just hand it to her. Alright, Peaches, I have your organizer that, like, someone not even 10 feet away from you had, and refused to give to you until I prodded her. There you go. If I've learned anything over the past year and 3 months playing this game again daily, this is a world that has no logic. What clothes did we get? A no-bell shirt. I don't know, I think bells would look nice hanging off this. But it's not a cool shirt. Okay, we gotta go talk to Phyllis. Multitasking is kind of tricky. I tried to train myself when I was young to be way better at multitasking. Like, for one thing, I'm ambidextrous. So, what I would do is I would set up 4 different games, and I would try and control a game with each hand and one with each foot. And I actually got kind of okay at it. Nothing I would be proud to show on, like, stream or anything, but I kind of learned how to do it to an extent. I tried to learn to be really good at multitasking just because you gotta be efficient with your time. If you want to do everything you want in this life, I think. Alright. You know, I'm annoyed we had to talk to Pelly. I want to talk to Phyllis. I like her. She's snarky. She's like an actual person. Whereas Phyllis, or Pelly, just seems disingenuous to me. She's overly chipper about everything. Although, to be fair, in the 3DS Animal Crossing, if I recall, she ends up, like, accusing you of, like, being a corrupt mayor at one point. Oh, I would never play Tetris. I'm awful at Tetris. Also, I'm Tetris cursed. I bought over, like, 300 copies of Tetris in my day, and I only own one. Because, like, every copy of Tetris I've ever bought either gets lost in the mail or is broken out of the box. And also, I'm awful at Tetris. But something similar to that. Alright, I'll get your Game Boy back. Oh, that's right, there's a new Doom coming out as well. I should actually, you know, play the previous one at some point. That's the only Bethesda id shooter I've ever played that I gave up on halfway, and that's the one I should have liked. But for some reason, it just did not work well for me. Yeah, Tetris I can maybe last maybe 2 minutes. I am not Tetris capable. I'm not a good puzzle gamer at all. Which sucks because I fundamentally like puzzles, I just can't wrap my brain around them. I just prefer adventure and RPGs and stuff like that. I like having intense amounts of story and fun quests and mystery and stuff, I guess. That's why for the longest time I was planning on streaming a bunch of different RPGs on here I wanted to get through again. And I'm thinking maybe by the end of the year when I finish up Mario I might do that. I think I had to go talk to Tangy. But if you're that good at Tetris, you should go play Grandmaster. Because I've seen some people play Tetris Grandmaster. That is intense to watch. I would love to be actually good at Tetris to do stuff like that. I can barely play like 2 minutes on Game Boy Tetris. Alright, Velma. You up and took something. I need to retrieve it. But you lent it to Chow. Alright, well, we'll go get it from Chow then. Well, to be fair, Grandmaster is a pretty intense game from what I can tell. Even, like, actual Tetris masters are really scared of it. I hear there's only, like, a dozen or so people in all of North America who are technically Tetris Grandmasters. Okay, this goes to Goldie. Well, being able to take your time is definitely a good way to go about getting better puzzle games. But I think once you really wrap your head around the logic of how the game works, you can kind of instinctually do it. At least I'd like to think so, but I'm someone who can't even stick around Tetris for long enough because I'm just that inept at it. Alright, let's talk to Camo Frog since he's here. Don't talk to Weber yet either. Oh right, you want flowers, but I can't give you flowers because I'm growing the greatest garden ever. And Cube, I think, wants me to take a thing to Pearl, so that ain't happening. At least we're not picking up a new quest from him. There's a weed! Pluck. It's really interesting how many different types of Tetris there are now. Like, even if they're not technically Tetris, I mean, there's, like, Bombless, there's Wordtris, there's, what is it, Tetris Stacks or whatever, that became, like, Pokemon Puzzle League, but was Panel de Pawn. I actually do have Panel de Pawn. That's a great game, but I'm awful at it. Tetris Attack, that's the one. Go to Quetzal. Oh! Are you still happy? Oh, you're not happy anymore. I could have got free stuff, but I did not. You are not Quetzal, although you look kind of similar. Mainly because you have the same character model. I don't think he's here anymore. Nope. Alright. Well, he's got to be on his way to the Wishing Well, I imagine. It's the only place I can... Well, there's Cookie. You can see if she has a quest while we look for Quetzal. Cookie! I don't plan it. I don't plan much. I don't have time to plan. Okay, well, Quetzal's not here, but he's got to be somewhere. And speaking of Tetris, there was Gus and Oyoyo, which was kind of like a variant of Tetris played in reverse. That was another game I tried to buy at one point, but couldn't. That shirt looks really, really good on him, and that's the default shirt for a different eagle named Buzz. It was the shirt he was just wearing, which was the Cruel shirt, I believe. Which looks kind of like Link's tunic, if I recall. Which is actually a really nice shirt. I'll wear that for a little while. Just gotta make sure that my cool shirt is stored somewhere. What else do we have here that we can swap it with? I don't want to get rid of a birthday cake. But I can't eat it either. We have... I don't want to get rid of Gracie's top either. If I run out of stuff that I can... Orange pinstripe. Eh. That's not really my kind of jam. I think that is a Gracie shirt, though. What else do we have? Ah, my golden axe. Alright, well, I'll know not to throw that out. Because I can't get another one. And then, just for the sake of keeping things relatively organized, I'll move these up to here. And plonk that there. There we go. Alright, who can we talk to next? We gotta find, what's his name? Weber. As much as I don't like him, I think he was talking to Ace. Or Spike. So I guess that's where we'll go next. Alright. So, are we gonna find Weber here? Yes, we will. Take a comic book to Goldie? Sure. I know where she is, so I can deliver things. Why not? Alright, let's go talk to Goldie. Ah, there she is. I have your comic book, Goldie. There you go. Hey, a special piece of furniture, which is just a standard piece of furniture, but still, she said it was special, and that makes me feel special. And sometimes I need that. We got a cream sofa. Awesome. That is one of the better pieces of furniture in the game, too. Go to Spike's. Get some glasses. Okay. Not sure why you'd lend those out to someone else, but alright, I will go talk to him about glasses. Yeah, Spike. I heard you borrowed glasses, which is weird. And also from someone who has a completely different face shape than you, so I don't know how you could even wear them, but, sure. The bright side to having 3 people in 1 acre is there's a good chance you could take a quest from one and get the reward from someone else in that same area, without having to go anywhere. Well, I could use some stationery if I had more fossils to mail, but okay, thank you. Alright. Maybe Ace has something. I mean, there's not really many bugs out there at this point because the game still recognizes it's winter, but alright. I think it's going to be winter for another couple days, at least. So the only bugs that are currently available to us will be the cockroach. And that. Well, there we go. We in fact got a bug. I'm really excited to see what sort of bugs and stuff they have in the new one, and like what sort of habitats and times they exist, because in this game it's actually really limited. Like 90% of bugs, when there are bugs available, stop showing up after 5 p.m. Well, I'm not a musician, but I'll take a drum, I guess. Maybe Spike needs something while we're here. Nope, not a thing. That's okay. I'll check Weber and then go talk to Nook. Alright, well, we've kind of helped everyone a few times. That's alright. Time to go talk to Nook, I guess. Alright. So, at Nook's we gotta sell a whole bunch of stuff. I would like to sell this and this and this and this and this, just making sure it's not one of my special shirts that I might have missorted, but I didn't. Only 1,000 bells, but there's close to 2,000 bells. And that's more than enough to cover our flower purchasing. So I will take that. And I will take that. I'm pretty excited for next week, because not only is the next Animal Crossing coming out, but a few days before that, Phantasy Star Online is coming out again in English. I mean, I already played the closed beta, but getting back into it's going to be fun. Although I have to admit, I am pretty sad that I will not be able to take my awesome cosmetics from the Japanese version over. I just hope they're available in that game. Like, 'cause I had the coolest sword skin, and I had, like, the coolest outfit and cosmetics and stuff. I just loved my custom characters so much. Like, that was the one thing I wanted. You want to reset my character, make him level 0 across the board, that's fine. Just let me keep my appearance, please. I had spent months upon months grinding in-game currency to buy stuff from other players. Just to get, like, the ultimate coolest stuff, in my opinion. And to not have that kind of sucks. But on the bright side, I guess if there is one, and they aren't available in the English version, that means I get to come up with a whole new style for my next character. So there's that, I guess. But really, I just want my old stuff. Also, they're releasing a new character class at some point, which is pretty cool, and it's someone who actually uses weapons I like, so I might actually take it. That was one thing I never liked about PSO2, is, like, your ability to actually use weapons is tied to your class. And unless you take, like, a weapon proficiency skill, which you should if you like a weapon anyway, because it gives you buffs to it, but unless you take a weapon proficiency skill, which would allow you to use a weapon from a different class, you can't. And even if you have that skill, you can't actually use any of its abilities, so it's kind of pointless. But I hate that I can't play as my favorite class and play with some of the more fun weapons, like the wired lances. And yet the crappy Squall Lionheart gunblades are available for every class for some reason. Damn it, I want the wired lances on my bouncer. Or alternatively, I want my bouncer swords on something more kick-ass, like a hero class. Like, that was one thing I didn't like when they announced the hero. It's like, wow, that's a class that's amazingly powerful. Oh, but it can't use any weapons I like. Oh, and I can't make it a subclass to even take advantage of its stats. Well, that's a class I'm never going to bother with, I guess. I don't know. I love a lot of things about Phantasy Star Online too, but there's some things about it I don't like so much. But I'm excited to see how good it is, and I hope they've fixed one or two things I noticed in the beta that I didn't care so much about. Like, for whatever reason, and I've got like an old classic PS4, I've got the PS4 version of it, and I played and it looked fine. I've got an original Xbox One, and it looks significantly worse. I'm not normally like a graphics guy, I don't normally care, but it looked really, really jagged and just kind of low res, and I was just confused as to why it looked that way. I don't know, I can only think that it probably hasn't been, like, they haven't finished tweaking optimizations and stuff. That's as far as I can assume. Also, weirdly enough, half the characters were dubbed in Japanese and half were, like, dubbed in English. In fact, I ran into a character that was dubbed in both, because they didn't record all the lines for it, because I guess they didn't expect you to run into him so early. But if nothing else, you know, it's a greater chance to level up my character, and maybe that means I'll get a hero class soon. That'd be kind of cool. Especially considering they seem to have upped experience, so leveling is real easy. I mean, in like the 2-3 day beta that I played, I got to like level 50, and I didn't put in all that much time. Oh, hey, we're running the Wisp. Cool. I guess we'll do with this. For a little bit, anyway. The Puppet Master. Okay, that's actually kind of mildly ominous. But yeah, so next week is going to be full of games of awesomeness. I might stream some PSO too, that might be fun. I'm kind of surprised I didn't do it when I got the PS4 version first. Well, maybe I'll have to fix that with the Xbox One version. Hey, there's Pearl, we need to talk to her. Pearl, you are nothing but a big ball of criticism, but I still love you because you're my second favorite animal. I am such a dear. Now maybe you won't criticize me so much. Also, you gave me a carpet when you could have given me over 1,000 bells. A little bit unfortunate, but what can you do? Okay, so that's Wisp. We can't catch him. As much as I might like to. Tall Buzzoid. If I can for just a minute go back to PSO2 for just a second, I was really confused as to like why your generic friend character in there was like Australian for some reason. Like that kind of caught me off guard. I don't have any need for him not to be or anything, but it just didn't seem like it fit the character. That was odd to just hear that accent out of that character. It's like, what? Is that final or is that like a temp audio track? Because that's a little bit jarring. Can't wait to play it in full though. That's a game I'm going to sink an absurd amount of time in, and it's free to play, which is nice. And it's not pay to win. You know, for the most part. About as much as the best MMOs can be, not pay to win anyway. Which is good, because I already sank like $100 into the Japanese one when I bought the physical edition, because I didn't realize there was a free digital one at the time. Which I learned immediately after I paid for it. So that was fun. But at least I got a Rappy pet that I never played a pet tamer, so I can't use. And it's still not available for people either, which is kind of surprising. Hey, 10,000 bells. Nice. And something I can dig up. And it's a gyroid. And it's a mini drilloid. Nice. That was a good little transition. Alright, so we got 4 more of these little wiggly ghosty bits we gotta catch. The question is, where will they choose to spawn? Because as we know, they don't pre-exist in this world anymore. They, like, exist immediately after transitions between areas. We've got to watch out for those flowers, too, but basically they can be anywhere. They aren't as prefabricated into the world as I initially had thought. But, you know, playing this game for long enough, you learn its tricks. You also learn a lot of its bugs. And this is not a bug-free game by any means or measure. It is a very bug-filled game. But I still love it. But I'm not above recognizing it. You know, when I put out my review of this game, I genuinely kind of thought, you know, I feel like I'm being too negative about this, but at the same time, you know, I don't think I'm particularly wrong about anything I said. You know, that everything I say was totally from the heart. This game is full of bugs, it's got a lot of problems, but it's a great game. But it's also got a lot of problems. And also, if you are judging this game as a port, it's definitely not a great one. At least from an enhanced port perspective. If you're just looking for an English translation, then yeah, it's fine. It even has 1 or 2 extras, but it's not really a great enhanced port. That's 2. Yeah, we just need 3 more. But this is still one of my favorite GameCube games of all time. Not my favorite, mind you. It's probably top 3, top 4. But it's definitely a personal favorite. And part of that's just because of how much it's helped me with my anxiety just playing this game. Actually, it's funny because I read a article just a couple days ago about how someone who was autistic, I believe, talked about how this game sort of helped them in their anxiety and stuff. And it's like, oh, that's just like me in a lot of ways. Well, that said, I've had doctors hypothesize that I might be on the spectrum myself, although I've never been tested because I've never seen the point. But this game is definitely a very therapeutic experience, because it just lets you have a nice little calm time, not filled with hectic, loud noise or people. And that's what I need in my life sometimes. I think if nothing else, Animal Crossing is a game that is really a greater good in the world, and the world is better for having it in it. And not just because it's fun or anything, but because I think it's just a genuinely really good therapeutic experience to play. Hey, there's another one. Except it's sitting on top of something. And the question is it sitting on top of this sign, or is it actually sitting on top of this statue? I'm not sure, but I don't think I can catch it. Awesome. I don't think it's going to get stuck. And I think it's in the tree right now because perspective is all messed up. For those of you keeping track at home and were disappointed by the fact I couldn't show glitches in my review just because of how much footage I have, here, this is a glitch. This is the game spawning something incorrectly. It's something that I cannot interact with, and I need to. And yet, I just can't. Well, I guess that's how that's gonna end. Unfortunately, we could not help poor Wisp tonight because the game kinda messed up. Oh well, I gotta get to doing about a billion other things before I go to bed. So, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, follow the stream to know we go live, because we do this every single night, plus Mario Maker earlier during the evenings, and other stuff when I have the time. Again, like the billion one other things I've mentioned I've had to do, I'm trying to find the time to start doing my pirate game series, which I want to kick off with the stream. So hopefully in the next couple days, Monday maybe. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm just completely swamped with a billion different things I need to do, both for the show, my other show, and well, everything. So just bear with me on this. I apologize for how long I've been sort of pushing this. But you might want to also check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see everything else I do, which is a lot of stuff. I know I got to put a gameplay video up sometime before I go to bed, so there is that to look forward to. And if you really want to make my day, check out the show's PayPal or Patreon. Support the show any way you can so that I can continue to do what I do to the best of my ability, which in this case is find a bug in the game, like a million one other bugs I've found in this game, about the game just spawning things in a weird way, because it really does seem to enjoy doing that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, Internet.